Hello, my name is Helen Adler. I'm the owner of the Pet Maven, and I'm here this morning with Biggie, Mr. Biggie Smalls, and we're here to demonstrate a full cat grooming. Today, Biggie is going to be getting a bath, a blow dry, and a little bit of a haircut. He's a Maine Coon. Maine Coons are a very large, long-haired cat. They are the largest of the American long-haired cats. They come in about 75 different color combinations. Biggie is a red Maine Coon, and they're noted for their kind of sturdy and rugged appearance. As you can see, they have very broad chests, and they have kind of broad rectangular heads. And the other thing that characterizes Maine Coons are their tufted ears, and he's got tufted paws, and those are really for protection and warmth. They are extremely intelligent and personable. They are considered very dog-like. Their coats are silkier than a lot of the other long-haired breeds, and not as dense, but they can be extremely oily. So when we bathe him, it'll be really important for him to get a good degreasing bath. I'm kind of going to go through my my tools here on what would be important for a long-haired cat like Biggie. Is we have nail scissors, okay, and that's the first thing that I do when I'm grooming a cat. We have kind of a de-shedding comb, or a comb with uneven teeth, and that kind of breaks up if there's any knots. I have a pin brush, which is really, really good for fluffing when we're blow drying him. I have a greyhound comb, which is also a very, very good comb for combing out a long-haired cat. And what's really important is a slicker. It's one of these brushes with wire teeth, and that kind of really gets through some of the knots. So you would first brush with this, and then you'd go through with one of these combs. Okay? So we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is Biggie's nails. And Biggie has very, very large paws, as you can see. And he's a big boy. He's about 25 pounds. So he's a lot of cat, but he's quite docile, and he's used to being groomed. I know people always ask me about trimming a cat's nails, and a lot of people are really afraid, but if you're starting out, probably the best thing to do is, if you can, sometimes it's easy to turn the nail on its side so you can actually see the full structure of the nail. You can see the vein is and where the blood flow is, and then you could just do the tips if you're uncomfortable. Because I've been doing this for a while, I'm a little bit more aggressive with the nails, and you're basically just expressing the paw, which means you're pressing down on the paw, which is releasing the claw for the nail trim. Okay, so that's the first step. And the next step I do is I'm going to clean his ears. He's got very, very large ears, and I'm going to brush him out a little bit before the bath, and we're probably going to do a little bit of a sanitary going in. They have these beautiful, beautiful ruffs here. This is the ruff, and it's really quite beautiful. And the other thing about Maine Coons is their coats are kind of, they're shagged. They're all kind of different. So he's kind of got a very contemporary haircut, even going into being groomed. He's got a shag cut. So we're going to take off some hair on his belly. He's going to get a modified belly shave, get rid of some of that hair, and then he's going to have his around his butt area shaved as well for hygiene purposes. I'm just going to skim off some of this hair. Sometimes owners don't want this. He's resisting a little bit. A lot of cats don't like to be on their back. It can be a very vulnerable position for a cat, but we'll work around that. He's generally a very, very docile cat, and he kind of likes being groomed. He likes all the attention. We get his rear area, and then we're going to skim out some of this anyway. Okay, he's ready for a bath. Unfortunately, he actually enjoys the bath. Maine Coons are known for actually kind of liking water. You hear about stories of them jumping into the showers with their owners. And he pretty much likes a bath. He'll sit in the sink, which is a good thing because he is so large. So he'll protest a little bit, and then he'll kind of get into it. It's a very large cat, so it takes him a little bit of time. So we're going to get him very, very wet first, and then he's going to be thoroughly degreased. I use a organic degreaser, which works very nicely on cats, and it worked very nicely on Biggie's the Maine Coon because he's a little on the oilier side. Unfortunately, he's very tolerant. It's very important to clean the pads because he's got all those toe tufts and because he does go outside. So you get his toes really nice and clean. And I'm going to rinse off the degreaser and then he'll be shampooed. Oh, boy. So he's very good for a bath. I mean, he's kind of just sitting here now. So now I'm going to shampoo Biggie. I use a totally clear, odorless, scentless. A lot of times I don't wash the heads. It really depends on the cat. On a Persian I always do because they always have all this gook in their eyes and their nose. But you know, he's pretty clean. Really important to get all the soap off. So we've just used the high velocity dryer on Benji. He's mostly dry. I'm going to go back over him with a regular hand dryer because we couldn't use the high velocity on his head. It was a little too sensitive to the noise and the power of it. And a regular heated dryer. The velocity dryers doesn't have a whole lot of heat with it. So I'm going to use the hand dryer now. This has some heat on it. Just finished drying his face in any areas. A nice belly shave. We're not going, if you were doing a full shave, you go up to about the under. A little bit more in his butt, just making it up. Yeah, the more combed out they are and tangle free, the nicer and smoother your haircut is. Skimming. I'm using a comb guard. It just really skims out. And typically as I'm going along, I like to brush out as well and just smooth it out. But you can see it's starting to get some nice looking pantaloons back here. I sometimes go over some of the hanging stuff with scissors afterwards, but typically I don't use scissors to do a haircut on a cat because I don't think it's that safe. Cats can move very quickly all of a sudden. You don't want to get the whiskers, you got to really be cognizant of that. And I want to keep a lot of his mane because that's what gives him his character. He's pretty compliant for this. It makes it really easy. Not all cats are going to be. But I think he likes the way he feels after. He has been groomed before. He's kind of more medium hair than long hair. He's certainly not as long as some of the Persians are. Kind of want to go with the lay of the coat. Sometimes it changes as you're grooming him, so it's going to really skim it. He's got a really beautiful ruff with some from white. So we're really just going to skim some of this out that we want to keep. It's really beautiful. So he does make the groom a little bit easier than a lot of other cats, largely because he will stand a little bit. Just a little bit, as you can see. Okay, Bubby. No. Good boy. I know, honey. I just want you to be symmetrical. He still has that very natural shag-like coat that exemplifies the Maine Coon. It's really beautiful. I think he looks fabulous. I'm just going to go back over him, see if there's any areas. I'm going to trim up a couple of things, maybe, or maybe not. I know, honey, I just want to brush out your tail. I want to see you stand one more time to make certain you don't have any hanging pieces of hair that look out of place. Okay, I don't think you need anything trimmed. I think I like this natural look on you. You agree? Okay. Okay. Finito. So, Biggie has had a really nice bath, and he got a nice blow dry, and he got a nice trim. He got a comb cut. So he's all ready for the rest of winter. And we'll see him in about 3 months. Right, sweetheart? Today after Biggie's bath, to dry him, we did really a two-part process. One was I used a high velocity dryer, and then second, I used just a regular hair dryer. I realized, you know, most of you, if you're going to be bathing your cats at home, you're not going to have a velocity dryer. But professional groomers, both cat and dog groomers, will use a velocity dryer. First of all, it makes it much quicker to dry the animal. And a cat like Biggie, who has a large cat and a lot of hair, and it gives it a much nicer finish as well. And it can blow out undercoat if the cat has a lot of undercoat, and it can also effectively blow out knots. So I do that first, and then I go back over him with a hand dryer, which has some heat in it. The velocity dryer has very, very little heat on it. But a hand dryer will be work for those areas where the cat might be more sensitive to noise.